Okay, so as I announced in the previous guitar video, I'm looking to eventually, sometime in the future, get a band going. As I actually had announced earlier in my channel, and I've had going since I was in high school, was a project for a band. You can find all my riffs and drum beats and things I've written for the band on this channel, as well as an entire video of me describing what I want the first record and some of the band's tour cycles to look like. I want to put out at least 4 records with this band. Who knows what's going to happen with it, even if it doesn't get popular, but I still want to have like a tour cycle and an aesthetic that I can hold true to my name. So obviously the first record, is going to have, that RH Null above freezing kind of vibe, which is why I bought this guitar today and just played it for you guys in the previous video. But I want the first record's touring cycle to just involve straight up 4-string, no fancy shit, 4-string bass. It's going to be these 2 basses. This one, because it obviously fits the theme. And the green one is going to be in a lot of these. It's going to be the only reoccurring guitar for each touring cycle, because the green one, it's the green one. Holy screen. The second record, so I plan on the first record being heavy and metal and aggressive, but it's going to have more experimental shit. Some calm things, more euphoric and self-belief type vibes. And obviously some darker elements. Not just like straight up like heavy metal. It's gonna have like a slow, like sludgy kind of dark groove to it, as well as some thrash metal and death metal in there as well. But not too much death metal. It's gonna be mainly experimental in my vision. The second record I want to be straight out brutal metal. So for the second record, I want to start introducing lower notes. So 5-string bass is going to be right there. This white guitar and this 5-string that's fucked up, and then this Stingray are going to be used for these 2 in particular, this 5-string and this white bass, as well as all the other ones. But the only ones these are probably going to be used for anymore, because if they're fucked up, is for practicing and stuff. The Stingray I definitely want to use for recording. It doesn't have the aesthetic I like and the shape I like for the vision I want for my band, but it's still, like, if you listen, it sounds beautiful. It's a great bass guitar. So I'll definitely use it to record some songs on any of these 4 records I'm mentioning. But as far as the aesthetic goes, I don't want these on there. What I do want on that record, however, is when we come on stage, that's what I'm talking about, the whole thing, the aesthetic. Is this 5-string lock tune is going to definitely be a staple. And Dan Kinney's Suicide Silence bass, because I plan on the second record we put out to, like almost bands, be our most musically intricate, but it's going to be brutal, balls to the wall heavy metal. We might throw like 1 ballad in there, like probably the second last track on the record, just to like fuck everyone's head up. But I want all the other 10, 11 songs besides that 1 song to be extreme metal, just balls to the wall, heavy, fucking fast paced. So that's that. But all these guitars you see here will be used for the recording processes. But only these 2 are going for the first record's tour cycle. This, and I want to get another bass, probably a for the second one. I might either get another 5-string to replace that one, or I'm gonna get another 4-string, and it's gonna be I'm thinking a Flying V design. It's just a straight up black Flying V. Like if you can dig deep in either my Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube, I know somewhere on there I had posted. I had one point I had a Flying V black bass guitar. I'll bring that in for the second tour cycle. The third tour, I wanted to completely remake everything. So as I mentioned, this one will resurface. As for the 4-string on the third record, I want to completely abandon this, just to kind of give it a funny little like theme. I just want to completely like for the second tour cycle, I don't want to use this fucking guitar ever, the green one. But for the third one, I'm going to bring this one back. I plan on buying a new 5-string. It's probably going to be just like, it's going to have like, probably going to be one of the most oddball looking. I want it to have like a very ominous, strange, weird design. It's going to be a 5-string, so we can still play those 5-string songs. Because obviously, when you make a song on a 5-string bass and you use the low note, you can't just use that to play it. So I'm going to definitely, after the second record, like I said, that's just going to be 4 strings for the first record. But once I hit the 5-string songs and we start adding them as staples, I'm going to have to obviously be carrying around on a tour a 5-string bass, and I want to switch that up every time. But this, regardless of whatever 5 strings I buy or use, this will always be used for recording because it's a lock tune. But that's going to be looking really cool on the second tour cycle. But anyway, for the third tour cycle, like I said, I'm going to use that. I'm going to buy another 5 string that has a headstock on it, like that one, that has like an ominous vibe. And then I actually want to see how this guitar is designed, where it's white and blue. I want to get another 4 string for that tour cycle, because that album's gonna have more of like, so basically like how the first album goes is gonna be kind of how the next 3 go, if that makes sense. So the first album's gonna have some elements of extreme metal, which is gonna be the second record's vibe. The first record's gonna have some euphoric, like self-belief, like kind of trippy, like very what is it? What do they call that? Jesus Christ. Major. It's gonna have like a major sound to it, so it's gonna sound like happy and shit, and like it's gonna make you like want to melt in your seat. So with that being said, you know that I want the theme to have the green in it again, because that's just gonna be my staple. That's gonna be like my guitar, you know, the green one. And I want a blue one, like this blue one, but I want it to be white, where you see the blue instead of blue. So it's gonna be like white, and then obviously I got the ominous 5 string to go with that kind of like a euphoric vibe. Now, the fourth record I want to be darker, just like, you know, the last theme in the first record. I want the fourth record to be a kind of a darker vibe, you know, but still have, you know, elements of heaviness and groovy and, you know, some self-belief, you know, like nice, happy riffs in there. But most of it I want to be very dark. I want that record to be like horrid, like lyrically. Just like gloomy and doomy and depressive and shit. For that one, I was thinking to bring another one of these back, and maybe play like one song on the screen one still, just to keep that kind of vibe there. But I want to bring another one of these back, but I want that color instead of blue to be like neon orange, like super bright orange, just to kind of like fuck with people's heads. And I'll play like one song from the old songs. We'll obviously play some of our old songs, so they're probably gonna be the most popular, but. I want to bring that guitar back for just one of the songs on the tour, so it still has that kind of like aesthetic to it. And then I don't know if you guys have seen the flame bass that Rex. If you want to see the flame bass that Rex Brown from Pantera used to carry around in the Extreme Steel tour in 2001, look up Pantera Live Seoul Korea. You'll see a 5-string bass guitar. I want it to look like the shape of that guitar. I want to buy one of Rex Brown's signature guitars, but I want it to be either black, white, or I want to see if I can get one by that point. We should have enough money and resources to get one custom made where it's just solid gray. That would look fucking wicked. So I want to have that in there, a neon orange bass and a solid gray 5-string Rex Brown signature bass guitar to go in place of the 5 strings. And then I'm thinking on the last record we do, I'm only going to introduce one new guitar, and it's going to be probably, I'm going to go with wood, because if I do make 4 records, the chance of me making 5 is slim. But if I make a 5th one, which I probably will, but who knows? Who knows if I even make one at all, but I'm going to sure as hell try. I'll bring all these guitars back, all the ones I've talked about that I want to buy. I'll play like, what I'll literally do is the last guitar I'll buy for the final tour, the 5th tour, because I eventually want to just like completely disappear from the eyes of the public forever and just like sit in a cabin in the woods and watch people like reminisce over our band. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the kind of person I am. I'm actually fucking crazy in my head. But I want to buy a 6-string bass guitar and make like 3 or 4 songs in the final record using all the strings on the bass guitar. And that'll be the only added one. So it'll be like a wooden bass guitar, and then there's probably going to see there's already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guitars here I can use already. And by that time, there'll probably be 10 or 12. So when we play a set, I'll literally like switch my guitar every single song, and I'll have a different guitar for every single song, and it will already have been used before, except for what I'll do is I'll throw one of the new songs. I'll throw 2 new songs from that record on that tour cycle. One will either use a 5-string, so it'll reoccur, or a 4-string, so it'll reoccur. And then I'll throw one of the other songs will be one of those 3 or 4 I mentioned that I wanted to have this use all the bass guitar strings. So it'll still get used, you know what I'm saying? And then all the rest of the songs, I'll just play a different guitar for each song on the tour cycle, and then just fucking completely drop it. And just like Pantera kind of did, and what every band basically does, is we'll switch it up. So like we'll choose different old songs, and we'll choose different new songs too. Instead, because they kept the same new songs on there when they changed their songs. But what we'll do is we'll throw in a different 6-string bass guitar song from the new record, and a different either 5 or 4-string song from the new record as well. We'll make everything different for the last leg of the tour. And then after the last show, we'll just out of nowhere just announce that we're fucking dipping. But yeah, I think that's pretty cool. It's kind of what I want, and I make these videos, yes, so other people can see it and like, you know, reminisce in my own shit. But I mainly do this because this stuff is all stuff I can go back and look at. Like, if you look at my YouTube channel, besides the story times, the art, and the photography, a lot of the stuff I put on here, especially the music related stuff, the bass guitar, the sitar, the drums, and like videos like this, the aesthetic. It's also, in the future, I can go back to my channel and just rewatch these videos and remember everything I said, and then recalculate and put everything down. So when this stuff does actually go down to the recording process and goes down to the paper and down to the wire, I'll have everything and be able to match it all back into one song. With that being said, at this point, I've already made new riffs, as you've seen the small clips, and if you look through my channel, that's just the stuff I've made. I made all the song titles. Now we have half the lyrics completed for the entire record, and I'll leave that up to the lead singer. So basically, in reality, what I'm probably going to wind up doing is our first label-produced record, which will involve all of our songs. Most of them I've already made. What I'm going to probably end up doing is I'm going to take the royalties to the entire record, meaning the drums, the bass, and the guitar. And then the next records, I'm not going to be like Eddie Van Halen. The next records, we're going to split it evenly, so it's going to be 25% or 20%, depending if there's 4 or 5 members. But I want the first record, all the royalties to go to me, because if you look at my channel, I've made the drum beats, I've made the bass guitar riffs. I've also can translate some of those bass guitar riffs into guitar riffs. I've actually made some guitar riffs myself on guitar, because I do play some regular 6-string guitar. Obviously, I play a bass, so I can play a guitar too. And I've also written the lyrics for half the record, which a lead singer could just fill in. And I've made the album cover, the art, name, the song names. Like I said, half the lyrics. I basically at this point, I've made enough material where if I wanted to, in theory, which I don't want to, but in theory, I could write the entire record by myself, but I don't want to do that because that's narcissistic. But I'm taking the royalties to our entire first label-produced songs, because I want our demo, similar to how Slipknot did it. I want our demo songs, our demo record, to be the final product, that RH No Above Freezing type vibe. I want to throw that for the first record. I want it all to be the same as on the demo. So nothing's going to change except the sound production and maybe a couple more extra riffs here and there, and obviously more coordinated playing. But because I made the material, I made 3/4 of that record. I mean, Just Above Freezing, the album, is going to have my name slapped across the face on it. It's going to be all me, and then the rest of the records are just going to be all of us, you know. And then the only reason I'm doing that is because I spent the last 7 years crafting this album, and I'm not gonna like fucking downplay my role in it. I made this entire thing myself, basically. And so from there on out, for the second, third, fourth, and possible fifth record, the royalties will be split evenly across all the members. Yeah, no, dude. I'm not going to let what happened to Mike Anthony happen to me. I'm going to take control of this project. I'm going to have complete control over this project, but I'm going to be fair about it, you know. But I'm going to ultimately have, in the eyes of the label, I'm going to have, and then if people don't like it, we can find new members. But ultimately, in the eyes of the label, I'm going to have complete control over the finances. I'm just going to distribute it fairly. I'm just going to make sure, because the reason why I want to have control is because I don't want no one kicking me out of my own band like Slipknot and, you know, fucking Metallica and Van Halen did. You know, I want to have complete control so no one can remove me from the project, because I will always be fair. It's not that I won't be fair. It's that I'm not going to let nobody cut my pay. You know what I'm saying? That's why I want to have control. So I'm going to make sure that I have complete control over this project. Yeah, I'm going to get this stuff moving. Like I said, I got all that other stuff in the other video. I got that learning this shit and stuff. So, you know, we're going to get this rolling. So I'm going to end it at 15 minutes even. I love you all. Subscribe. You know, this is all part of the process. This YouTube channel, all this, and even I could even use some of those albums I wrote on BandLab. You know, all that stuff I make. That's all original too. So I could use all this stuff to make plenty of songs, if not already stuff I can come up with in the future to make even more new ones, brand new stuff. So yeah, that's cool as shit. Subscribe, like, turn on the bell. Peace. It's going a long way.